Welcome in. Here are your piles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll leave that there for a moment, but there's also some crystals to put on them. So pile 1 has this pink heart. Put him up there. Pile 2 has this, I want to call it brown crystal. It's a green crystal. I'm not sure what it is. Then pile 3, I couldn't decide between two crystals, so I brought them both. One is a little crystal. One is a little crystal. One of them is a clear quartz mushroom, and the other, I believe, is a moss agate, or I feel like it maybe had tree in the name, but maybe that's just my association with it. So trees could be of significance for pile 3. Then pile 4 has this amethyst. I believe it's amethyst anyway. Has a cool green thing in it. Feels like amethyst. And then pile 5 has this tiger's eye. So those are your piles. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. See you at your letters/readings. Okay, pile 1, welcome in. Let's put your heart up here, shall we? Your heart. I've taken it from you. I've placed it on my table. I went to say for the whole world to see, so there could be something about maybe showing more, like maybe you've been made to feel like you need to show more of yourself than you do want to. I heard Dan was right to show. Okay, pile number 1. I have a couple notes at the back, which I'll go over after, which probably get clearly seen during the letter anyway. I guess I'll hold the letter up in case you want to read it yourself, but if you can. But I'll read it aloud now. And then maybe in a bit we'll get some cards also, depending on how it flows. So, pile 1. I will always love you, my dear. You know this. Have faith that our time will come to be at peace once more, and know that the struggles you're facing now are but a teardrop in a puddle of our affection that extends lifetimes and lifetimes for us. I am always in spirit here for you to lean on, even if I can't do that for you in person. I'm sorry I left you alone, and in my heart you are still mine, my love, my sweetest one. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me, to forgive my early leave. Not for me, but for you, my love. Let that soft heart of yours feel my absence and feel the pain I've caused you, because you deserve to heal and more, and move on too. Because you deserve to heal and move on, and in brackets too. Some of the things I write in brackets, it's like that was relevant for some of you, but not others. So it's like a kind of, it's alright, I'm here with you, and nothing will stop me from staying with you in this form for as long as you want/need me here. You can talk to me or shout out your frustrations and pains, brackets, sorrows, or simply feel my presence with you. I know you deserve more than this, but for now, please accept my offer in spirit, underlined spirit. You don't need to act tough anymore, in brackets /for me. You can fall into what you're experiencing. Your life has so much to offer you beyond this, and one day you'll thank yourself for all the struggle you've been so brave to face. I kind of felt like they wanted to find another word for brave because they didn't want to like place a particular, I guess, adjective on you, or like place you in. It felt like some of you might not like being called brave, so there's an acknowledgement of that. It's just they were trying to find the right words for that energy. So yeah, and one day you'll thank yourself for all the struggle you've been so brave to face. Thank you for hearing me out. I know you didn't have to. / we're expecting a different tone. This is more of the real me, perhaps the one you should have known in a better life, or you could have known in a better life. Regardless of where we've come from, I want you to always remember that in my heart I hold a world, in brackets, ocean, of love for you, sweetie, in brackets. Yours, and then their name, or their relationship to you, with a love heart. Okay, so that's the channeled message from them. And then the little notes I have on them were owls popped up. Also, they felt to me very motherly, but that doesn't have to be your relationship to them. For some of you, it felt like they've literally passed over, and that's why they were saying like in spirit. But others of you, it felt like you've moved on from them in person, so it's like they're not, like their higher self doesn't want you to rely on their physicality, but they do say that like their spirit, their soul is with you. For a few of you, I felt like drawing attention to the fact that I saw, for some of you, that it's a connection of two females, and one of them is passed over, and that like it's a partnership, female lovers. That felt significant for some, or just someone. Oh yeah, so at the end I drew a heart, or they drew a heart, but it began off looking like very cruel. It didn't look, I just heard the word appetizing. It felt like distant, kind of evil, kind of not nice feeling. And it took many tries for me to make it soft, and I even questioned doing that or not. So that felt like a very significant message, and it goes with the energy that they said. I know this isn't what you were expecting to hear, that kind of thing, like that a lot of you would not expect this sort of loving tone from the one you're thinking about, or the one that came through, even if you weren't trying to get them. I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, it felt basically like you might have expected a harsher them, because that might be who they are in the physical, or your experience with them, but that they in truth have a lot of love for you, and it's their heart is truly gentle, but it might have been known to you as more jagged. Okay, so that's the letter, and I'm gonna get some tarot. I think this will be more guidance or more clarity. I guess we'll just see what comes through. It might be more messages from them, but I think that might be it from them, and this is more from like your spirit guides, or from love itself, whatever messages want to come through for you surrounding this. Yeah, there's a lot of like unexpected feeling, or it's like it's making me a bit teary, like this was the real you, for them. Like that was really, this is who they really are, but it doesn't feel like you got to experience that. There's a lot of emotion within this. All the letters have very different approaches, messages, feelings. Yeah, feelings. Yours feels particularly emotional and sad. Yeah, 8 of Cups. That's card of walking away, but it's not just like leaving. It's like a loss of something that you grew very emotionally attached to. It's a difficult sort of walking away. Nine of Cups is like a dream come true, like wish fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. But it's like you had 8 cups and you held so much for them. It's like it's close to being what you wanted, but it's more like, I feel like for you it wasn't necessarily close, but this experience you're going through now of losing them in some capacity is bringing awareness to how much they really meant to you, whether that be something you really wanted to bring clarity to or not, because it feels like there's a lot of pain in the acknowledgement of your love for them and their love for you too. I feel like for some of you it might be particularly hard hearing how much they love you. Maybe a little distorting or a little discomforting. But I feel like overall it brings a sense of release and like finally I can move on kind of feeling. I don't really get a finally. That energy doesn't super fit, but it also does. So maybe to just take that if it resonates and not if it doesn't. The Hermit, which is a card of internal seeking, solitude, which goes with that. Like 8 of Cups is walking away or needing. Like there felt like a sense of this having been pushed on you, which would make sense if this was like a physical death, but would also make sense if this felt like you kind of had no choice but to leave. For a lot of you, it feels like this could have been a parental figure who wasn't caring, or just anyone who you had a lot of love for, and a lot of attachment to, that wasn't emotionally loving towards you, with you, that it felt less like a choice to walk away and more like a necessity. Ooh, I need to drink some water now. Something in that like touched my throat weirdly. Yeah. It's like they lacked emotional availability. They lacked that emotion, which kind of ties in with the whole them thinking that you wouldn't expect this from them because this felt so emotional, and yet with that like jagged heart. I'm sorry, I don't want to apologize, but I do want to explain that I feel quite slow in this reading to explain, but I feel like that might be because you're processing so much, and a part of like this soothing energy is just sitting with that. Like right now I'm like kind of tearing up and feeling the difficulty of this, like the difficulty in walking alone. It felt like you really didn't want to leave them. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something something about what I just said relating to helpful, right? Helpful to the struggles you're facing now are but a teardrop in a puddle of our affection. And they said ocean in brackets later on too, so I didn't know if that was like some sort of symbolism you both had together, like water in and of itself, but it felt like not just water itself, but like bodies of water, like a puddle, an ocean. Or maybe that's just a call to acknowledging all the emotion this is bringing up. And that owl message, it feels like it holds different things for all of you. Maybe I shouldn't go into that even. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles is making me think it's like individual, personal to you. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles are like the same. Okay, yeah, so Strength card again is another like, this is difficult for you. It's bringing up a lot, but you, like, you're holding your own. I just want to say, like, you're doing so well. I heard sweetie at the end, but that, I think, yeah, that was in brackets here. Which, again, it's like, not all of you will resonate with that, but some of you will. And the final card is Judgment. Which makes me think of both, like, an ascension. Like, these are even, like, spirits. It's kind of like the horn, helping these spirits ascend. Butterflies, too. And these are poppies, right? Poppies could be significant for you too. And even like long gowns. And this is looking a bit like a rainbow, but it's like a special rainbow. The Rainbow Bridge, I believe. I don't know where it originates, but I know I've heard of that from Witch Watch, the manga, of just another expression of crossing over. So whether this was a physical death or not, there is certainly a death here. And a recognition of how big of a shift this is for you, how impactful this is for you. We have 3 major arcana, and the 8 of Cups is a very significant feeling one too. And at the back we have 2 of Wands. Yeah, it's like a looking to the future. I feel like you might be in a sense of like, what now? Like, what do I do now? Calico cats could be significant too, because I feel like I haven't heard that name, like Calico, for a long time. I don't even know if that is one, but that came to mind. Birds and bamboo too. Smoke. Yeah, smoke rituals. It makes me again think of like honoring this passing. Whether that, again, I want to reiterate, whether that be a physical passing or not. And look at them, those cats again. Yet cats are literally, I had just heard messengers of the spirit realm. They walk through spirit. What was I saying? Yeah, whatever type of closing this is, I think this reading primarily wants to be a confirmation of how big of a shift this is for you, like how much you're feeling surrounding this, and that it's okay to be feeling that much. I'm not sure if you can hear, but it's super like raining and windy outside also. Okay, I think I want to get an animal card. Oh, we'll use bird cards too. Or we'll use them first, actually. There's a message of like warmth is returning, but it might not be the kind of warmth that you were expecting. And I think that that's in specific correlation to this person, this being, and being drawn back to that smoke from like the ritual. So it's making me feel like the warmth comes from the honoring of all that this is. It's not necessarily like a warmth of feeling like them around you, or feeling like you did the right thing, or I don't know how to put that part into words, but it's a special kind of warmth from recognizing the truth. It feels more like an honoring of the truth. Yeah, they keep wanting me to bring attention to how big of a change this is. So I'm going to repeat again, you've got 3 major arcanas, and one talks about a deep sort of solitude and the wisdom gained from that. Finding the light through the darkness. It's a very, both of these, all of these cards have like a middle ground energy to me, which is making me again think of cats. Like, it's not quite like the in-between, but, what messages do we have for pile 1? Even right now, smoke is making me think of the in-between. Maybe there's a little question of what even is passing, like what is a death? So for those of you who this isn't a physical, actually for any of you, all of you, there's a call to question what even is death. And maybe taking the labels you have on that off would help you really feel into the truth of what this experience is for you. Yeah. Because there could be a tendency to like rationalize what this is, or to like look at it instead of feel it or know it. You may, I don't see this coming up strongly in your energy, but there just may be times where you question, is it really okay for you to feel what you're feeling? And this is a huge call. Yes, yes, yes. But more than like guidance, this feels more like a reassurance, and I don't know what the right word for it is other than you're doing amazingly, you're doing perfectly, it's okay. And truthfully, you can't do unamazingly. You can't. Okay, brain. That's what I feel like your energy is. Like you might have a tendency to get a bit wrapped up in how you should be. And there's just, again, a mirror that wants to be held up to you, that this is so big, so it's okay if you feel like rough around the edges. It's okay if you feel like you're like not holding on correctly, or if there are better ways of handling things. I want to say, like, it doesn't matter. Like, throw all of that out the window, just do you. Yeah, there's a strong energy of like, allow this to shake you almost. Allow this to be difficult if it is difficult. It's okay to sink into it. Some of you might want to like try and move on, but it might not be from like you actually feel like you're in that space ready for that, but maybe more like, I can see it going in many ways. I don't feel like getting into the why not is relevant here. But bringing the attention back to, it is okay to be in this space. The way you feel around this is actually a light in and of itself. I think some of you may strive for the light so strongly that you forget the light that is in that darkness, is in the depth, is in the lowest end of the sea, of the ocean. This one. Jays could be significant also. I'll bring him out. And the color green. I almost used a green crystal for your pile, but when I saw that one, I was like, that's it. Oh, look. It's like an ocean vibe. Huh. It's making me think also of like the in-between. I want to reiterate whether this is a physical death or not, you can treat it as one if that feels good to you. I think it would. There's a little message for those of you who feel drawn to like some sort of ritual to do with water, like allowing the ocean to take the ashes, whatever those ashes for you are. So lapwing, cut off. I heard like cut off from the roots or from the stem. Stem is making me think of the green color again. And jay. That's a grumpy looking jay. I heard stay away. Maybe in this time actually, oh, okay. Maybe you feel like, oh, what's that bird? Beagle. Nuthatch. That's making me think of not attached and nuthatch. Like not ready to hatch. Okay, so the message I'm getting from the lapwing and the jay is like you may be finding that if you're trying to, I guess, be overly positive or act more from like a sweet energy or like a at peace energy, that you're cutting parts of yourself off in the process. And maybe what you're really feeling is more of this grumpy energy, more of a grieving, processing, darker, deeper, more, again, rough around the edges. And that's okay. It's okay to be that, because that they even both have like colors on their wings. They feel very similar to me right now. It may be that you're trying to be more in that heart center as opposed to being more in the like the grogginess of it or the upset of it. But true heart doesn't come through like a fakeness, is what I want to say. It's like, you know that your heart deserves to be honored in all of what it's feeling, and that this lightness that is truthfully you also, it comes through finding the light of all that is. I didn't get that. 9 of Swords. Yeah, but it is in reverse, which is making me think. So 9 of Swords upright would have made me think like it's overthinking, like over worrying. But with it being in reverse, it's making me think of underthinking, under worrying. Not underthinking necessarily, but maybe you're not wanting to focus on this. You're not wanting to think about it. You're wanting to try and move on without acknowledging the great impact that this or they have or had on you, or are having on you. This was a significant relationship for you, and it has impacted your heart. And that heart of yours deserves the space that it needs to, I heard heal, but I think more than heal, it's just feel. Yeah, a lot wants to come out, but particularly the color's red, but it's like a very gentle red, which is actually just that color. It's, if you know the chakra system well, or if you want to get into that, there may be a color that is, it's not like a deep red of the root chakra, but it's making me think of one of the loads of maybe just like energy centers. Maybe they're not chakras themselves, but it feels so down deep in the earth. So there could be a particular like meridian or chakra that speaks to that you could find healing through acknowledging that energy center more of. But even maybe this color could be healing for you at this time. It's like a cross between red and brown. It's like a muddied red. And also there's a feeling of, if you want to be alone, that's okay too. This first bird keeps making me think of like appearances, like making yourself look all right for those around you, or just being like pushing yourself to be seen by others. So that was the first message, wasn't it? Like maybe your heart is too on display, and maybe you want to be left alone, and that's okay. This is a personal journey for you, and it's okay for you to take it in a personal way to you. It's okay to not know where you're going yet, and it's okay to know but not feel ready to go there yet. It's okay to miss them, and it's also okay. I heard it's okay to be haunted by them. You may have like a large range of feelings surrounding them. It could be anger too. Anger, frustration, sadness, grief. They're like a loss of what was. But with that energy, I also got like a loss of what could have been. There's a strong sense of you missing their hearts, even if it never really felt like you had those hearts or heart. I feel like that will only be for some of you though, or for a lot of you, but there seems to be a split between maybe those of you who had a very loving relationship but now they've passed over, and those of you who didn't have a very loving or healthy relationship but you're still processing the love that you did have for them. Perhaps begrudgingly. And there can be that sense of begrudgingly even if the dynamic played out in all sorts of ways, in other ways. I'm just really honing in on the begrudgingly feeling from that bird. And that is actually now making me picture a body of water, but it's not clean. It's full of dirt. I want to call you to have compassion for yourself during this time. I keep wanting to kind of scrunch up, and it makes me want to clench onto something, and it makes me feel like everything's not okay. I think that's the energy that a lot of you are in. And to that, I just want to say that's okay to be in that. It's okay to find that something to scrunch up. To be frustrated, to cry, to not know how to deal with things. Because it's in that not knowing that you find the knowing. Because that not knowing feeling is coming from a whole labyrinth of emotion within you that wants to be felt. So if it's making you feel like you wish things were different, it's not for no reason, and pushing it away won't change what is. And so again, it's just calling you to be gentle with yourself, because you are processing a lot. There's a sense also that maybe you've experienced other people who, or you know of others who have been through something similar, and maybe they appeared to handle it very differently, or to them it wasn't as big of a deal as it is for you. And then with that, there's a call to not need to compare, because what you'd really be comparing, it seems, would be the surface and not the experience, the experience that you are experiencing. There's a call to allow this to release, allow it to let go, but allow it to do so in a messed up, whatever way it wants to do for you, whatever way that happens for you. And it's okay to have good days, it's okay to have bad days, and it's okay to not need to label any one of them. I'm even being drawn to her hair in this picture. Is that even her hair? Exactly. It kind of feels messy to me, but you can also look at it almost like those bowls of smoke, like it's almost honoring the again what that's there for, like why. I feel like your reading all wants to just center around the energy of it's okay. But more than like just saying it's okay, it's like, no, it's not okay. It's okay to not be okay. Now with that, let's get a bird. A bird. Let's reposition and get an animal. Hey, spirit of the animals. Seems fitting. Okay. Pile number 1. Orca whale. Yes, I'm gonna read this. Any more? Orca whale, adventure. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Oh my goodness, this feels so fitting. Let's read it. Let's read it. Let us read it. Something about 3 times could be significant. That's just making me think of like rituals again, which just make me think of truly recognizing the grandness of what you're experiencing. Not grand, the power or the influence of this. Okay, orca whale adventure. Determination, positive attitude, energetic, loyal, longevity, bold, balanced, integrity, creativity, sound healing, breath, and hearing. The fierce orca is a powerful totem. Orcas live in pods and have tremendous respect for their guarding matriarchs, who live to be 100 years old. Orcas are family-oriented, and the group members take care of each other. Oh, I feel that. I guess I'll read that again. Orcas are family-oriented, and the group members take care of each other. Those with orca as totem are strong, determined, and protective. When feeling joyful, they rise up powerfully from the water and create... Oh yeah, more of that water. And create orca thunder. I feel like orca thunder should be your totem for this time. Orca teaches us the power of breath. If orca is swimming in your consciousness, try breathing like orca to release any negativity you may have absorbed. Breathe in as deeply as you can, hold your breath, then expel with an explosive swoosh, or try making an orca cry. I heard that, like, try and make an orca cry. Like, go on, try it. Try and make one cry. What's the message in that? Maybe that's you trying to act tough. Because we had that little bit of, like, the brave. Yeah, maybe you need, like, such a powerful spirit like an orca to get you to cry. Just a reminding, or just a reminder that it is okay to cry. in whatever way that cry word comes out for you. This can release resentments and greatly increase your chi. If Orca is your totem, you are highly telepathic. Inner sonar guides you to your goal. Others will perceive your great strength and resolve. You can lead. You always find success. Your family will bring you comfort throughout your very long life. Follow spirit signals and inner guidance to help you get back on track when feeling lost. You are a creature born to happiness. Jump through the water, make a splash, and share your joy of living with the world. Are you feeling tense? Remember to breathe deeply. Are you lost? Are you beached? Are you not following your sonar? Ask Orca to help you find your way. Be aware of false guidance. Look within and learn. So, surprisingly, those messages didn't hit as much as I thought they would. When I saw Orca, it felt to me like, for one, bringing so much attention to how much you do value family, because this feels like, whether they were blood family or not, it feels like a kind of connection where you would have considered them family. And maybe some of you are hesitant to acknowledge that or to feel the extent of that. So this feels like reminding you of who you are, reminding you of how much you really do value family. And the second thing that made me primarily think of was like an extreme sort of emotion, like really being led by your feelings, but in the way that is suited to you, in a way that feels authentic to you. Also a lot about matriarchal energy, which this pile felt strongly of. And with this energy of be brave, you are more powerful than you know. It's also a reassurance that you can get through this, or that you'll be okay. I heard, and that your love is not lost. But I think the main message isn't to like move on without your love, it's to use all of that emotion that you do feel to fuel you. But I do feel hesitant saying that because it feels like that will be more of the later part, and that the first part is more about just simply allowing that emotion to flow, and then it's more about using it as fuel. It's like feeling all of that emotion until it gets to the point of more like being lost or dwelling in it. Until it feels like direction, you feel like you're ready for more direction. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Feeling the extent of what is present until you feel ready for direction or movement. And when you feel that readiness, then it's like calling on the power of Orca to guide you forwards. And with this energy that I'm speaking of, which is more of like as a totem and as a guide, and with all this energy also of like ritual, it is giving me a feeling that you find resonance with connecting with symbolism outside of yourself, connecting with intention, with... I'm finding myself in that scrunched up energy again of like the things I'm saying aren't working, or it's quite a feeling of despair. So again, I'm just here to say that it's okay to feel that. Allow that to be. Maybe for you, voicing your feelings would help a lot, because I often have felt, I think, when I've expressed that scrunched up energy or the difficulty, then I feel a release from you. it's like, oh yeah, I am feeling that. Oh yeah, it is okay. That is okay to feel. But it's not so like blatantly that. It's more just bringing awareness to your emotions feels like it would bring you a lot of relief and clarity. Almost like reassurance of your heart, or maybe simply awareness to your heart and all that you're experiencing. And with that, pile number 1, I will leave your reading. So that has been your letter. Feel free to go back to the start and re-listen to it, or do whatever feels good for you. I love you very much, and see you in another if I do, or I'll see you in another time space if not. Bye. Oh, that was loud. Sorry. I have apologized a couple times in this reading. What is that about? Yeah, that goes back to that energy of like the one trying to act sweeter than the reality of how they're feeling. And what wants to pop out here? The Hierophant. Maybe you do feel like you need to be acting out of wisdom instead of acting out of where you're actually feeling or where you're actually at. Or maybe none of this reading resonated for you, and there's a call to acknowledge and respect your own feelings of non-resonance instead of listening to what I've been saying. That felt important for a lot of you. And maybe not just to do with this reading, but to do with what other people have been telling you, whether that be someone you respect or not. Yeah, it feels like all a call to honor your way of being, your way of processing, your way of thinking, being. Okay. Do I rip it up? I think I do. I'm kind of... A part of me feels like something could go wrong. I wonder if that's how you're still feeling. Because I was just thinking, like, what if the video isn't recording and then I won't be able to record it again? But that is not something I think I've ever thought before. Let me... Just checking. Yes, it is recording. How long was that? I'm curious. 47 minutes. I didn't touch on the owls much. Rip. Because it is okay. Where do I put you? I think I'll put you there. Welcome in, pile number 2. Let's put your crystal up in the top right. There's a drastic shift of energy. That sentence in and of itself could be significant for you. You may feel like... I just said there's a lot on the table. Okay, 2. I have some notes on the back, which I'll talk about after, but I think you will probably know who this is. But in case you don't, we might get more clarity on that afterwards. Okay, so from them to you, 2. Oh yeah, the first thing they wrote, like, they felt so straightforward or like serious. Not serious. Blunt? No. Maybe we'll get into that after, but I guess I'll note first they didn't call you like pile 2, they just said 2. Okay, 2. I want to make an effort for you, I really do, but all of my own ways of how one is meant to live keeps getting in my own way. I know you think I'm cold and hard-headed, and maybe you're right. I won't admit it to your face, but you've taught me so much. You're very different to how I was taught to be, and I find myself banging my head up against the wall trying to understand how I should be treating you. I think about you a lot, far more than you'd think. I'm trying to get over this grudge I hold, but you know these things take time. The selfish part of me wants you to hold out for me and to entertain my whims and ideas of how you should be, but I know that's not what's best for you, and you seem so sure of yourself that I don't think I could make you stay, in brackets, / adhere to my ways, even if I might try. I'm a stubborn one, in brackets, just like you. I kind of felt like, I'll get into that more later. It's kind of feeling like there's so much to share. Like they feel like they could have like ranted onto you a lot, but it kind of felt like they were stopped. Both stopped like at this point, but also like at the very beginning, I felt like I was holding so much back, which I guess I said in the back part, but I'll continue. This part is more from like even more up to their higher self. Like this doesn't feel like something they would say on their own, but it still came out feeling like them. But then when I got to this part, it's like, okay, I'll get more messages to you. It's still from their soul, but it's more their higher self, so an evolved version. Please don't wait for me, dear. You've fought long enough and given me many, many chances to right my wrongs or change my ways. I know you love me deeply, and I too love you that much too. We'll always have the life we've lived thus far to look back on, but it seems our paths have diverged enough by now that holding on is only turning both ourselves sour. Let's turn a new page now, shall we? And learn in our own ways what it means to respect. So it kind of felt like this person, this being, doesn't respect you, and thus you choosing to walk away or you choosing to have more distance with them is out of respect for yourself. And then through that, it's like they will have to, well, they won't have to, they very well may not, but their form of understanding the concept of respect would come, it seems, in more of a switched way, as opposed to like you respecting yourself. It's more like they would have more of a journey in understanding how to respect you, or how they could have respected you more. It's like they're aware that they're not being respectful, but they don't know how to not be. It's like, that's what the banging my head up against the wall felt like to them. It's like, I know I'm not being respectful, and I know I do love them, and I kind of want them to know that I love them too, but it feels like from their perspective you're doing things all the wrong way. Like, why are you the way you are? Of course, that's just their perspective, because they even mentioned, like, this is just the way I was raised. It doesn't feel like they think for themselves. Like it feels like they think very much for themselves, but it feels like it's ingrained within them from childhood, and that they haven't wanted to change or to really, I would say, fully question that, but it feels like they do try and question themselves a lot. They just get stuck in not knowing how to not think the way they think. Yeah, okay, so it was a very masculine energy, and it felt quite fatherly, but it doesn't have to be that at all. It felt very rigid, like this crystal, like a square. I put quote unquote strong, like they gave off that strong feeling, which goes with that masculine energy, but I put in quotations because I definitely don't believe that this energy is strength. I think it's more weakness of not being able to allow for the strength of love. They didn't feel like they'd want their emotions / their softness to be seen, and I wondered if that was possibly the thing that they found difficult to accept within you. This, of course, is not for everyone, but I got the image of a masculine watching this. Like, you could be like identify as male, but, or maybe it's like you are physically male but you don't identify as male, or you just have a lot of femininity to you. It feels like regardless of what you identify as or what your body is, they would find like personal expression, like creativity, emotions difficult to navigate, difficult to feel like that's okay. They felt hot-headed. I felt like unsure about saying hot-headed because yes, it felt hot-headed, but it felt so earthy that I didn't want to put too much emphasis on the fire. Slash, they felt like that, like in quotations, I'm putting my foot down, that kind of energy. Again, kind of just like stubborn energy. I felt like in order to channel the truth of them, I had to really try and hold back a lot of external anger slash projection, conflict energy. So what I mean by that is, when I was writing this first part, it felt like if they were to speak from, like, if I was channeling their more human full self of expression, it would not have been this like nicely written. It would have been more forthright and probably offensive, and I guess I'm questioning now the word offensive. I don't really resonate with that, but it would have not been understanding. It would have been it felt like it would have been more of anger. So if you're in a lot of conflict with someone who is quite stuck in their ways, possibly a father figure, or has that energy, and yeah, you're in conflict with them, this is probably your pile. I got the sense that you would know who this was very strongly. But please don't make my emphasis on masculine energy like deter you from who you feel this is. Okay, do I have anything more to say on this, or shall we move on to some cards, extra guidance or messages? I also want to note that their handwriting came through way, I mean, maybe you can't tell, but I can tell. It came through more like delicately, or like more side glanced. Okay, side glance could be significant. I guess more fluid from their higher self. Their higher self felt far more fluid, far more lighter, which, I mean, that kind of goes with what typical higher selves feel like, but I felt like noting that. Maybe to put an emphasis on, like, they feel heavy and weighed down in their current selves. Okay, let's get some cards. Interesting that I'm wanting to use these cards, because these are very, very light, very galactic. Not necessarily an energy that I feel your person would strongly resonate with, but who knows, I could be wrong. They just don't give me vibes of being very spiritual, and these are very spiritual. Arcturians. Any more for any more? Okay, this is a message coming for some of you. I heard, why were you born a boy? Take that as you will. Blue avian. Okay, a lot of blue energy and quite logic based. Masculine. But it's kind of in reverse, so it's like that unhealthy masculine. Okay. Let's get... This is very interesting. I wonder if a part of what they don't understand is your connection to spirit. Actually, I'm getting this thing. Because I'm wanting to use... Or maybe this is just a call for you to not get sucked in by their heaviness and to focus yourself on lighter energies. I don't feel that too strongly. I feel like this is more about confirming the situation. I feel like from you, you're very understanding. Seed, new growth. There's a lot of fire. Okay, I'm not... What is this energy? I want to say it is about masculine energy. I did say don't let that deter you, but I feel like this is strongly relating to the way you personally identify with that energy. Is it to do with spirit? No, it's... Okay, so my mind is trying to push me like, no, this is about like how tapped into the feminine you are, isn't it? But it's like, no, no, no. It's that you're associated with healthy masculinity, but there's a call to acknowledge what that really is. And I think that is what they themselves don't understand. It's not that you're in your feminine, it's in that you're in your healthy masculine. Okay, interesting. Oh my goodness, look at that. Those triangles on the side just make me think exactly of that masculine energy, and the fact that it's not like upright or flipped is like you have it in such balance. It could also be that because it's not like upright, it's on the side, it could be that you're also like learning about these different parts of yourselves. Maybe recognizing the part of you that has been wounded from this unhealthy masculine figure. If you still feel like you are somewhat like resonating with their energy, if you're still holding on to them in some way, it could definitely be that there's lessons. I don't really want to call them lessons, but I think I will. I don't feel a resistance to them this time. Yeah, there's something in that message. I don't feel a resistance to them this time. So if you do feel resistances to this figure, or if you have very strong reaction or any reactions to them, it's about there's a message coming through of questioning what that is and allowing yourself to kind of allow it to bring you clarity in divine timing. This feels like something that you could simply bring awareness to, like noting how you're responding and noting how you're responding and what that's really coming from, but not necessarily where it's coming from, like deep roots. This is more giving me a feeling of just simply note it. Simply note how you're responding. And it feels like for you, the answers will just come. There's no need to question things. It's something that I think will have like a pop of like epiphany someday. So like take note and no more than that. I'm even seeing these, that and that as phones. So it could be a conversation you're about to have, or it could be a conversation you've just had. Or just a simple conversation that has happened. It doesn't matter when it was, that stood out to you. And simply take a note of it. Take a note of what they did and what you did. That full stop, that's the message. Okay. Do we want to clear this? No. No. Okay. Let's get some more. There's something about sight, but it's making me think of like womb. Sight of the womb. Discernment. You're giving me off, okay. That could be significant. It kind of made me hear like, okay, it made me hear two things. One, like getting off, but also giving me away. Oh, I heard two things that time with giving me away. First time I saw it more like an adult, like a parent giving their child away. So there could be strong ties to like abandonment wounds with this, and self-worth. But the other one was giving me away, like, this might be more of the message of that womb sight. Trust your instincts. You're giving me away. Maybe that's their energy of like, you've given me away. This reading has, or you have, like, shone a light on the truth of them. So I know we were talking about that masculine energy, but after I did that kind of full stop on the end of what I had just read and then questioned clearing it, it feels like now it's more about allowing your feminine to guide your healthy masculine. And by that I mean, do like keep your boundaries up surrounding them. It's like the boundaries up part is the masculine, that healthy masculine. And the reason why you know to do that is your feminine. The gut instinct, the womb knowing, the womb seeing. Okay. This feels like a little bit of like a heads up reading. I just read that as like healthy man or higher man. Yeah, wow. Higher self, man, and strong. Okay. And that actually says more, but my handwriting can be interpreted in many ways. Yeah, this felt like a reading on, yes, you are perceiving them to be not looking out for your best interest. I just heard the start of a sentence, if you gave them the chance, they would fill in the blank. And it wasn't something nice. Okay, any more messages for pile 2? Interesting reading. Kind of enjoying it. Yeah, that's what it is. I think realization. I think you're realizing more of the truth of them. Maybe more of the truth of them being stuck in their own ways. And that maybe they don't have the most loving intention for you. I want to say they don't know how. They don't know how to have loving intention in their current state of being. Numbers 3, 7, or my brain cannot add 1 could be significant. Yeah, there's like a harshness to this space, I want to say. Not even to this energy. I want to call attention to space. That's making me think of the Arcturians and blue avians, but I was intending that more to be like space, like environment. Like, this is not a healthy environment. Okay, realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Macabre. Move. I'm feeling that energy to bring forward. I just heard like, get out. This is not healthy. But I also want to say, this should be confirming what you already know. I'm not just telling some random person, like, hey, leave this person that I do not know of. I'm saying, your gut is telling you something. Listen. And this is something that would feel invigorating too. And I feel that energy from you right now. And if you're not feeling that, then maybe this isn't your reading. It's like you feel a sense of strength in knowing that I heard you were right. In knowing that you are right, I want to say, like in your being, like it's okay to be you. And this energy that is making you, or not even making you feel, I was going to say that's making you feel like it's not okay to be you, but I don't want to say that because it actually doesn't feel like they're having that effect on you, maybe anymore. It feels like you've reached a lot of solidity within yourself, and that you're no longer actually resonating with that energy of, I heard you're difficult. They maybe have pushed a lot of projection onto you, like you are difficult, like you're hard to love because of who you are. But I feel like you're letting go of any resonance to do with that, and knowing that actually you're perfect. And I heard in my head, maybe you're the difficult one. And I saw a spark at that. Okay. I felt resistant to saying that kind of a message, but what wants to come through, I'll honor it. Maybe you feel a bit like that too. Like maybe usually you hold more of a state of compassion, or more like aligned with your values, or aligned with what you see to be as truth. But maybe this energy is actually calling you to be more in your head, innate energy, like primal energy. It's giving like a directness, and a directness in not needing to do things the right way, but just doing what you want to do because of what feels in alignment, what feels, yes, in alignment with love, but it's not in like a serious kind of, what's that energy? It's not a very questioning energy. It's just acting from what you know is best for you, and not giving too much. Okay, there's a lot that wants to come through for that part. I guess what I'll say primarily is giving yourself the space you need, and allowing for them to act in the way that they will act in accordance to those boundaries. Yes. I felt strength from that. I want to read this Cosmic Flower. The frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home. And that feels like you remembering what it's like to feel at home. Like, what is your home? And it doesn't necessarily feel like a remembrance even. It feels like a becoming, like a choosing, a finding. The core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. Yeah, that magnificence. Heart and fertility. A space in which your heart can flourish. A space in which you can be seen and be respected. Yeah, there's a lot of energy around respect. What is respectful? So we have belief with 11, emergence with 25. Let's put these on top of... No, that's not. We'll find a space for them. Yeah, it's kind of like an energy of you'll find space for... Like, if there's no room for you to sit down, you'll go find a chair so that you can sit down. It's like you're worth finding space for. I feel like this person may have, if there wasn't enough room for you, made you out to be the problem for being there, as opposed to being like, hey, we'll go find a chair then, right? Because we want you to have a seat. And I feel like you're in full recognition of your worth now that you would so clearly want to find yourself a seat. Okay, crown and authority. I heard a combination of you're finding your light and you're finding your time. Like it's your time now. It's your time. Oh, also hearing that like it's their time, like their time is up. I presume in accordance to being in your life, or having the amount of rain in your decisions or within your life that they have had. So belief, emergence, and dynamic, and then crown and authority. I like how the authority is kind of like a cross between crown, all that you understand and see and recognize as truth, all that you The frequency of crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Negative energy into light. Yes, but also no is how I'm feeling about that. A part of that message is finding authority within yourself to know whether something, to discern what is worth shifting, transmuting into light, and what is a continuous cycle of negativity that won't shift into light. It's like using your resources wisely. Going where there is love to be had. Going where your power is respected and, respected again. Going where your power is sought. What's the word? Sullied? Maybe not where your power is sullied. It feels like you have such a strong connection to spirit, is what I want to say. Because the third eye card popped out also. I don't really see how that's tying in with this. But it could be that you've been using those spiritual resources, those spiritual powers of yours, of higher connection, to maintain this relationship, to maintain it as best as you could, or to help heal them, quote unquote heal. But that's kind of the point, is like, what really is healing, and is this simply an energy you want to be entertaining anymore or not? Yeah, I like seeing that for you. An energy of, rather than negative into light, just what is. And do you like what is? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be around? Like, we have this energy of dynamic. Of the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. It made me think, first of all, that you are incorporating so much newness into your life. Like, we see a lot of clearing, and thus clearing creates new. But in tandem with that energy of like, what is worth my light, what is worth my focus, my power, this dynamic is calling a question of how much is too much, or how much is different to, like, too far into the different spectrum. Like, how far until it's no longer an energy of difference that is being incorporated into seeding love, and how much is just taking away? Like, how much is this energy able to paint its own expression of color onto this canvas, and how much is it actually just covering over the other colors on it, or ripping the canvas itself? I feel like that part didn't make sense to my brain metaphorically, but it came through, so that could be significant for you. Emergence. Yeah, approaching life from a lighter state. It feels like returning to your all-knowingness, returning to the way in which you naturally navigate. There feels like I want to bring you back to like a higher... It's an expression of femininity and masculinity that are merged. I feel like I'm not getting the point of this. Let's get a bit of tarot, shall we? King of Wands. Passion, authority, leadership. You know what? Actually, the most prevalent energy of that's sticking out to me? Respect. King of Wands is respected. Because he is respectful. The energy of fullness could also be significant. He kind of wants to pop out, but it's more like he wants to make himself known again. What is this message that I'm not getting? The like incorporation between higher realm and lower realm, feminine and masculine. Knowing but also flowing. It's like you have a lot of ability to dive in deep, but you're actually not being called to do that. You're being called to take a lighter approach, to not get so sucked in. It's like we know that you can transmute heavy energies, but we're not calling you to do that. Live lighter, live freer. What is the life you want to be leading? Wheel of Fortune. So strength, Wheel of Fortune. I'm almost getting like an energy of you have been too strong. And also there's this strong sense of true strength. Like I said in quotation marks that they felt strong, but you are embodying true strength, which is not the lion, but I heard the maiden who tames the lion. It's not that powerful force of, I heard like endless rage. It is that which is able to command the tides, that which is able to, like with the Wheel of Fortune coming next, it's like it's the ability to ride the storms because you have your own compass point that is pointing the ship. Yes, a compass that points a ship in the way that you know is most prosperous. So coming back to that masculine energy, it's like an energy of you do value a lot of the same things that they value, it seems. One example is simply like money. You might value like stability and money. I just want to say it bluntly. And yet your way of going about getting that is healthier. It's more abundant. It could be that they just don't see how you do it, either how you already do it or how you will do it in the way that you know will be true for you, or the way that you know is true. King of Swords, yes. It's like you both have strong logic, but your logic is based on the logic of the universe and just higher understandings, as opposed to a restricted sort of logic. Your logic isn't that of being boxed in, your logic is that of incorporating the whole. You just have a higher logic. Because Blue, Avian and Nocturne are both very mental energies. They understand how things work. And it's because you understand how things work that you don't allow the pressures of, I don't want to define what pressures, because it feels like the primary message is there kind of pressuring, but it feels like there could be a lot that goes into this. So yeah, not you haven't been allowing the pressures to determine your course in life, because you can see beyond that. You know beyond that. You know that those pressures are but forces of energy that can be utilized. as tidal waves that push you to where you know you can get to. Because I don't even want to say it's like you're going where you know you're going, or where you're called to go. You may have felt that, but the message from this is like you're going where you know you can go, based on the principle of your own logic. Another king. So you've had 3 kings pop out. King of Pentacles, King of Wands, and King of Swords. The only one that isn't is King of Cups, which is emotion. And this doesn't seem to be going too deeply into that. I almost want to say maybe you are mostly a King of Cups, but that's just not where your focus is right now. It's like you may feel like you've mastered King of Cups. This could be opposite too. It could be that you're least in tune with your emotion, but it feels something to me like that isn't being asked of you, and you're being encouraged with this sense of like logical direction. It's just not logical to this person or being. Okay, any more to this message? 5 of Pentacles. Okay, that's kind of like lack mindset. It's definitely a confirmation for you of if you are feeling like you're not being supported, especially financially, like you don't feel secure and you're not feeling abundant, you don't have a lot of money, for example, but you still are. Okay, now High Priestess wants to come in. It's like, trust your knowing. It's not trusting your knowing of like pure gut of that things can happen for you. It's trusting your knowing of the way the universe works. Don't get caught up in all their ways of thinking. What is your way of thinking? I'm getting an example of choosing to heal instead of focusing on the external, choosing to go internally and healing all lack mindsets that you have in order to open yourself up to abundance to flow in freely, as opposed to working on something outside of yourself which may do the same thing, but it's going at it in different ways, and maybe the internal version opens up more than just something that you could get practically. That message didn't fully fit. It basically wants to be a simple confirmation of don't get caught up in, or you're not getting caught up. Maybe you are a bit. Like, as opposed to, but this is something you're doing, or more of a message for you to focus in on, as opposed to being caught up on what you don't have and the struggles, it's remembering why you have moved the way you move in the first place. Yes, it may have been intuition, but I think for you it's more than that. It's not the intuition of why you're moving the way you're moving, it's the intuition of why you're moving. It's like 2 whys. It's like go back another step. It's like understanding the entire foundation of reality. That's your why. This isn't based on hope. This is based on logic. The logic of I want to say like femininity and masculinity in one, but I also don't want to say that. I also feel like I've said those words way too many times in this reading. It's like the logic of what you know you can have. I want to say with this 4 of Pentacles, hold on to that belief of what you know is true. They said, just like you're a stubborn one. And I want to confirm that. But not confirm that, it's like you might, I was being drawn to this chameleon, or I'm calling him a chameleon at least. And I want you to not be the chameleon, in that be a stubborn one. Hold on to what you know you can create for yourself. Hold on to your logic. And I'll end your reading there. Okay, cool. Yes, end that reading. Pile number 2. That took a bit more of a outside of this person's energy. This person's... There's something more about outside. And that like abandonment feeling. Maybe I didn't touch on something to do with like you feel. Yeah, okay. This is just a key add-on for you. A lot of your feeling, if you struggle with finances or with feeling secure, then look to this person and your relationship with them, because that feeling of lack comes from them, it feels like, or they mirror that with you. So those feelings of abandonment, those feelings that they didn't care for you or that you weren't worth being cared for. Did that words come out? Did those words come out? They're pointing to what you can let go of and embracing that you can find that you can choose to have your own seat, and that those feelings, trails of the place where you'll find that, where you'll allow yourself to have that seat of yours or that castle of yours. It comes from feeling those repressed feelings of abandonment, of feeling like you didn't deserve to, or it wasn't wanted to have someone find a seat for you. This video, I'm feeling like I'm muddling my words a lot. I do actually just sense that they could have been frustration in both piles. It's like there's a sense of like things not flowing the way you want them to flow. And where is that? Where is the point of contention or tension? Wrong guy. Shy guys could be significant. Shy guy. Shy guy, maybe you feel like you are shy. And then it's about questioning, like, why are you shy? Who made you feel like that? Or what is that feeling? And then who made you feel that way? / how is that reflected in them? Since this came in a reading about them. Rip it to shreds. And you can imagine that if you want with like shy in receiving, shy to have abundance. What makes you feel like you aren't worth all of that? Okay, now I really leave your reading. Pile 3, welcome in. So you're the one with 2 crystals. I'm curious if we'll get confirmation of that. I think it might be to do with unsureness, maybe on both theirs and your part, because I felt that unsureness with them within their expression to you, but we'll get more into that and a few more of the notes and then some cards probably after the main portion, the main letter for you from your being. I heard of choice, but maybe not of choice. Do you speak a lot with this being, or did you speak a lot? Because there's a lot of like mental connection here. So the first thing they said was like insert nickname. It felt like they had a certain nickname for you, and that's what they would put here to start their letter off with, which I thought was cool. So insert nickname. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I've been thinking maybe we should. I'm easily distracted, and I still don't let myself fully think about you/our dynamic. I fear that if I do, I'll fall into a pit I can't return from. If you were right about it all, about me, then wouldn't that mean I'm left hopeless? I really have tried to understand the truth, in brackets, in our distance. And that meant like a two-part, a bit like of our distance and like within our time away from each other. But the difficulty makes me think that you are always better at this sort of thing than I. What do you think? Should we just forget about everything and start again like before? I don't think that would solve any of the underlying issues/hurt though. I still think you used me. You did, didn't you? I don't mean to push you, and I'm sure you have your own opinions, in brackets, that I'm trying to not get caught up in, standing my ground in my own, or else that whole falling into the pit thing again. Close bracket. But I still think we're both better off together. At least, regardless of all this nonsense, we had fun together. I think you softened my heart in a special kind of way that nobody else has, in brackets, /will ever. Close bracket. In a way, softened my heart in a special kind of way that nobody else has done. So, insert nickname. I'll see you if I see you, and if not, I hope you know that you're awesome/special to me. It felt like some of them might not have liked me using the word awesome, but it fit for a lot of you, or it fit like the energy, and I couldn't find a way that, or I couldn't find a word that it felt like all of them were happy with. So I hope you know that you're awesome/special to me. I think back to our times together every now and then, and wonder if you do too. I hope we can reconnect again in this life. Maybe once we both get to better places/more clarity. Tell me when/if you're ready. I might be too. Love, da-da-da. It felt like they'd put their name there. It didn't feel like they would give a nickname. And I wondered that here. Where did I wonder that? It felt like most of you guys listening, Pal 3s, had a nickname from them, but it felt like far fewer of you actually had one for them. But that might have, like, because at the end they didn't put insert nickname for them, who they are, but that just might have been because they don't call themselves by that nickname. Like, you might have called them a nickname, but they're just not referring to themselves like that. I feel like I want to speak very fast in their energy. They give me quite Aquarian energy. Yes, very in their heads, not very in their emotions. I want to say hearts. Okay, lots of contradictions in this, which goes with that having two crystals. Like, I couldn't decide between the crystals, so they could feel very undecided around you. They didn't fully understand yet. They both wanted connection with you and were resistant to connection with you. They kind of felt like they thought you were somewhat cold towards them, or that you were angrier than they were at you. They felt like they approached this quite lightheartedly. They felt very camaraderous. Oh my goodness, look! A ladybug has come for your reading. Is he gonna call on me? Luck. Jupiter energy could be strongly associated with this letter for you too. It feels like they do see this being something that that you could work through, or I don't know what sort of the dynamic you have now, but it seemed like they didn't think it was necessarily final. It definitely feels like they still view you even though you're apart, like you're on the same page. Like they kept asking you questions, which was cool. None of the other piles did that. It's like they said something and they're like, do you agree? Like, they would want to have a conversation with you about it. Or I feel hesitant when I said that though. It's like they don't know if they want that or not, and yet they would talk to you in their head a lot, it feels like. or it's like they might not mind having a very mental connection with you, but their hearts, yeah, he crawls on me now, but their hearts feel more closed off to you. But it doesn't feel closed off, it feels just unsure. Yeah. The ladybird bug had stopped when I said unsure. Like frozen, like I don't know. I'm not sure if this was more of like how, if they were perceiving you as more cold towards them, or I think that might just actually be the truth. Like it's not really that how they're perceiving you. They might perceive you as not angry, but I felt from you a bit of energy of you wouldn't want to speak to them more than they wouldn't want to speak to you. It felt more like they're like teetering in and out, like, can I say hello? Can I not? Should I not? Do I want to? Do I want to not? But it felt like you were more secure in where you stand with them. We might get into that more. I felt just then a few of you going like, no. I think maybe it ranges. We'll see. Analytical, yeah. That's that Aquarian energy that feels like they have eccentric or very fast minds that non-conventional, I want to say. It's like they're open to a lot. That's what that energy is bringing me to in this reading. So with analytical, far more in their heads than emotions. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Before almost / kind of saying than their hearts. And that made me breathe in deeply. I think that is the reason why you might be more closed off to them than they are to you, because maybe you recognize how not in their hearts they are, and that they are more in their heads. Maybe that was part of what caused conflict. It felt like they didn't really know what caused conflict, maybe. Or they did, but they don't fully understand it. Like they were saying, I really have tried to understand the truth. But it seems like they found that difficult. And that they felt like you had used them. And then, but they wanted confirmation from you, like, right? Like, you did use me, didn't you? Can you hear that rain? It feels like a fierce emotion. I wonder if, I think some of you, I'm gonna get confirmation on that now, actually. I wanna know your energy. It feels like either what you're in now or where you've come from is like a fierceness towards protecting yourself, it feels like. Like some of you might scoff at having been told that they were the one being used, because maybe you feel strongly that you were used. It feels like they take it very lightheartedly because they don't really know what went on, but it feels like you know what went on. Let me finish this before I get into the cards, actually. See, they feel so like here, there, and everywhere. Like they want to just be in connection again and for things to be at peace. Or to get what they want. Or to understand. They don't know what they want. Because like I'm trying to get into the cards, or it does feel way more relaxed though, I will say. They feel a lot more like on the same page as you than the others. It feels more of like a kind of friendship or sibling or I don't know, cousin, or a relationship where you're more like eye to eye as opposed to like parent and child or grandparent and child kind of thing. Okay, so I'm in this energy though. It's like they don't want to look at something, and they did say that, didn't they? They don't try to think of you. They try not to think of you too much. I still don't let myself fully think about you or our dynamic. I think it's less about thinking about you, because they mentioned that they do think about you every now and then, and they wonder if you do too. But it's the dynamic that's sticking out to me. They wonder what your dynamic is, and they don't think about that too much. It's like they contradicted themselves here too, because it's like giving me the energy of they like overthink it, but also they try to not think about it. And I think it's not that they try to not think about it, but I think it's that they try to not feel about it. Because I think then it might take them into how they feel like they've done wrong, and then it's like that hopelessness energy of, okay, well, if that's true, then they feel stuck in life. So it feels like they have closed off to the energy that they feel like they would just be trapped in if they were to acknowledge as truth. I'm noticing the ladybug is crawling over my glass of water, but I actually can't see it anymore, but I know that it was. Oh, there he is, he popped out. I'm slightly discoloured because it's got some tea in. A little gnat too. Okay, shall I keep him in? You can watch him. Yeah, they don't want to focus on what's difficult. They feel very lighthearted and very like they're fixed on the logic at the moment. Okay, but with that, like, they're afraid of falling into a pit of which they can't return from. It's like they feel extremely when they feel. They could have like Pluto conjunct Moon or something. Yeah, there's an intensity that they have, but it did not come across in this letter at all. It just feels like they really hide away from that. Or like they just I don't know, the word hide didn't really fit there, but it's not coming through in the letter. The letter is very, very light. That's like the present energy of theirs. It's like a in the background darkness. So yeah, for the most part, or just in general, they're very analytical, more in their heads than their hearts. Fear of losing themselves in their big fears / feelings, to such that I didn't even tap into that energy. Yeah, that's kind of that energy of, I'm almost questioning, like, do they have that? Do they feel strongly? Yeah, they're just very protective over it. But it's not out of like it doesn't feel like it's out of a guided protection. It feels like it's more out of what would happen if I really followed these emotions. What would happen? It's like they really wouldn't know how. It's giving me the energy of they're in front of a dark tunnel, and they have tried to walk through it before many a time, and they get to the middle and it's completely black either side of them, and they lose their sense of direction. They don't know which way to go, and so they like pelt, is that word, pelt backwards. And once they get back to where they were in front of the tunnel in the light again, it's a deep fear of going back in, because to them they haven't made it out the other side before. I heard at least not alone, so, and got the image of maybe some of you have like walked them through the tunnel before, because they did mention also they thought maybe you're better at me than this, something like that. Or they said like you are always better at this sort of thing than they are. Okay, so let's get a bit of a... I want confirmation on the ladybug on the water, because it's around the emotion. Good luck follows the emotion. Okay, that's it. Good luck follows the emotion. Okay, now watch this. Now, what energy are my pile 3s in? What is your energy? Ha! Okay, I was contradicted. Queen of Swords. I thought it was going to give a Cups card, and I would be like, so good luck follows the one in their emotions. But Queen of Swords is giving me strong, like, yes, you have your strong boundaries up, and you can see where I'm being drawn to I was going to call them fairies or flowers, the butterflies. It feels like you see everything I've described, and you are remaining vigilant because of that. But it's not like it is that cold energy that they spoke about, or I spoke about, I don't remember. I think I said that they felt like you were cold, and it seems like, yes, you are cold towards them. But it doesn't. Queen of Swords is I heard in her right. But I think, again, it's like, it's because you know that they aren't in their hearts that you are being logical about that. And it feels like keeping your boundaries up or keeping your distance. Two of Cups, but it's reversed, and it definitely wanted to stay in reverse. Which is, again, like, yes, you don't want a connection with them. And I'm also being drawn to maybe, like, one cup is being handed. Like they said at the end, like, they might be ready. They're not sure of themselves, but they're kind of looking to you for that sureness. But it feels like you don't want that. Tower reversed. Yeah, that feels like what... It feels like... Oh, but this is your energy. Four of Wands. I heard satisfaction and completion. It's... Okay. What's this tower on about? Is this you? Because what I was gonna say was, it feels like holding back the river. Holding back... Oh, okay. So if we see this, like, Two of Cups is an offer from them, an energetic part offer from them of a relationship. It's like, okay, I see. It feels like your Queen of Swords is saying no to that. And then the same thing with the Tower. It's like, because you recognize that they wouldn't just be coming to you with an offer of, like, partnership on equal terms. It would be, they're bringing the Tower with them. And that is an energy of, like, shaking up everything you know. It's like an energy of complete destruction and chaos. And it feels like you're aware that it's like what you're saying no to is a relationship with them and their baggage. But I don't know if saying baggage is really fitting. It's such a clear energy. Can I get, like, an animal card? Animal cards are easy to read. I will note that I just saw many cards. King of... I wanted to call it spiders then. King of Spiders. Okay, I'll use that animal deck. You know what I don't understand? Both of my manufactured... No, I don't want to call them that. Both of my animal decks... Where's my... Here it is. I feel so eccentric or a bit out of it with your pile. It's not out of it in a Pisces way, it's out of it in an Aquarius way. Or maybe a bit of Gemini. Or a lot of Gemini. But my voice didn't want to come out then, so it's Aquarius, not Gemini. What was I gonna say? Spiders, yeah. This deck doesn't have a spider, and this deck doesn't have a spider, both of which are animals. So we'll use my deck. Because this one does have a spider. Okay, but what... I feel like that's not relevant. We don't need to try and get this spider card. King of Spiders. King of Weaving. It's like an energy of what do you want to weave into your world. And yes, this channel's name is Weaver of Worlds. That could be significant, I don't know how. Being selective. You're being very selective with what you allow into your energy. Because you know the fruits of your labor is what I heard. You know okay, so that's two-part. It's like, you know that what you provide is like clean, and it's like you provide for so many that it's important to you to to to, to have that be of worth and not tainted. But I heard another thing with that, and now I'm back to the other thing. King of Spiders. It's important to you what you have in your world. I forgot. It'll come back if it needs to be. Fly? Fly, fly away. It did come out sideways, which makes me think of more of like, oh, give me confirmation. Down, yeah, okay. It makes me think of like a fly on the wall. Maybe that's how they treated you. That felt like confirmation of it coming out like that. Maybe they treated you like a side glance. Maybe they treated you... Okay, I don't like this comparison because I love flies, but I'm gonna use it. Maybe they treated you like a fly, but you're a magpie. And they even rhyme. I think they only realized how forward-moving you are, and they only realized your wisdom and your clarity afterwards, in your absence. Okay, but what is... I feel like I've kind of been drawn into a negative state of looking at this. I want to align more with love again. And I kind of feel like that's why you're doing what you're doing with saying no to them, because to whatever extent you are doing that, it feels quite foundational. What do you call that? Like exact? Not exact. The word literally was in my brain, but I can't say it. Maybe that is relevant for you. Okay, it's not coming. This beetle energy is giving me a bit of ladybug energy. Moving stadig. Yeah, it feels like you're saying no to that which is of non-equality. We can also read this Two of Cups like... Where'd he go? Oh, he's on my little pinky finger. My Mercury finger. We can read this Two of Cups like it wasn't an equal give and take relationship, but it was one very giving and one very receiving, and not being balanced out, not having that be a head on a turntable. Balanced. I wish you could see inside my brain right now. And my eyes. I'm like stuck for words. Is that how you're feeling or how they're feeling? I think it's how they're feeling. Because they don't see what you see. And I don't think they know how to move forwards without you. I wonder if with this Mercury, Jupiter and Mercury, you could have like Jupiter and Gemini. I don't know why that came out, but it did. With Jupiter and Mercury, it feels like you have a lot of like mental understanding of wisdom, of this like forwards movement. It's like you know how to move forwards, and it's like through that dark tunnel that they're afraid to move forwards through. I lost the message again. Phoenix bird though. You know how to ascend, essentially. You know how to transmute lower energies and to not get caught up in resisting that which wants to be falling away. it feels like you move through the dark very easily, and that's something that they're struggling to do. Slash, they're not doing because they know they struggle to do that. And all in good time. They're on their own journey. It just feels like for you, you're acknowledging how much more of a like foundational pillar you were for them. And perhaps acknowledging I don't know how to word this. Acknowledging how much better you're doing without them. Nut. As that fly energy again. I feel like there's a strong sense of they didn't respect you and now they do. They didn't feel like you had much insight, and now like look at the magpie's card with all of that runic work, all of that information. They feel like you're an abundant source of information, it feels like, and it's information in the realm of transformation, in the realm of understanding. But they also just see you in a really playful light. But light. Hey, those are the same words. There could be something about that. Those are the same words. There's a lot about like speaking and communication and words. Red Panda's also giving me, it's like a relaxed sort of depth. Like you understand how to maneuver through difficulty in a way that doesn't feel difficult. And I think that with that like Pluto moon energy that I touched on, that they feel like they would get lost in that pit. They too have lots of experience with moving through the darkness, but I think that they don't know how to do it in such a light-hearted way as you. I think it's painful for them. And that's not to say it's not painful for you. It's just I feel like you have embraced your pain in a way that they're now learning to on their own. Yeah, there's a lot of death energy. Maybe some of you were on the fence around, like jumping frogs is making me think of like you could go back or you could go forwards or you could go in the middle. Maybe you too were unsure about your decision to not have them in your life, or maybe you were more thinking, okay, I think this is more it. I think maybe you're sure about not having them in your life from where they're at now, but maybe you weren't sure about whether they would progress spiritually, emotionally, like with maturity in the ways that you saw that they used to, or like you saw that you do. It's giving me a vibe of like, and they feel like you're so on the same page, and maybe you've had yourself questioning how on the same page you are. And I think that's what this reading for you wants to be centered around, the fact that you have grown a lot faster without them, but it's not around what without them. I think that this is something that you find difficult to accept, because I'm finding myself I keep wanting to not say it. This is a reading for you acknowledging the truth of your spirituality and your growth, and I heard your ferocity. Let's get a bit more tarot. No, don't get more tarot. Okay. I feel like you acknowledge now, or you're acknowledging the strength of your abilities and how much they might have clung to that and not been so much on the same journey as you were as you perceived them to be. This isn't even the message I was trying to get out. The message I'm trying to get out is, I feel like they're not changing in the way that you expect them to, or their progress is taking them. Ace of Cups in reverse. I want to get confirmation, please. I feel like you might have thought that, like they said at the end, that your paths would come back together, but I think this is showing you that they're still in front of the tunnel. And it feels like, yes, maybe in a sense you two feel similar in that you're on the edge of the light and the dark, but you're on the other side of the tunnel. You're in the new light. And they haven't taken that leap like you have. And that's when the card came out. Yeah, it feels like Four of Swords, you're putting this to rest and you're healing from this connection. It feels like, and with that like Four of Wands that came out earlier too, it doesn't even feel like you're in that much pain, because like Three of Swords that come before is the heartbreak, it's the pain, it's the difficulty, but it's still associated with the mind, which this connection feels very mental for you both. Emotional too, though. We had Two of Cups come as a like possibility. But yeah, Four of Swords is what comes after that. It's the peace, it's the rest. And I'm being so drawn to the Dove. And especially with Page of Cups, it's like you're ready for that. It's not even like you're ready for it. It's like you're there. You're gliding through the light now. You're gliding through the peace, the calm after the storm. And it feels like they haven't yet faced their storm, or they are resisting their storm. I want to reiterate that you're in the peace. You're at peace. And I think that a part of fully being at peace, putting that old cycle of the dark tunnel and what was before that dark tunnel more like to rest, is putting this relationship to rest. Yeah, Five of Cups. Because I just asked in my head, is this like a putting it to rest for now? Because that's the energy I felt from you. Like, okay, I can put it to rest for now. But this is, Five of Cups is like mourning. It's grief. And grief comes from letting go. And it feels like an energy of not holding out for something that isn't there. I think that you might have a tendency to half put things to rest because you want to keep an open door, because this relationship seemed to be very fruitful for the both of you. But I resist saying that because I wonder if they viewed you as a fly on the wall, how fruitful of a connection really was it for you? And more acknowledgement of that, I think, will help you understand just how far you've come, and like understand more of the truth of where they're going to. It's like I'm being drawn to these lilies. I believe they're lilies. That could have symbolism in it for you if you wanted to look that up, or if you know the symbolism of lilies. I just keep getting that you're both holding on, but it's kind of like they're holding on to, I feel like, yes, they're holding on to you in that love that they feel for you, in that you're special to them, and that they felt like you touched their hearts in a way that no one else could or did. But now it's taking me to the message I was gonna say with the ladybug now climbing up to my light, which is that actually maybe what they're more clinging on to for them is that guide, that light that before took them through the tunnel. And I think you've realized that you don't need to be that torchbearer anymore. You don't have to go back through the tunnel just for them. That's not even the message, because I don't think you would do that. I just think that you're kind of, maybe, yeah, this is what it is. I think what you're holding on to is the edge of your new day, because I think for you to walk on from where you're at is to say you're not waiting for this connection, and it's saying no. It's not just a no for now, it's a just no. Because I think you'll find so much lightness in moving on with your life, with where you want to go. Red Panda wants to come out again. You'll find so much lightness with where you're wanting to go that I think you won't want to turn back anymore. I think the more you continue walking on, the more secure in no full stop, the happier you will be. And maybe that still brings up triggers of, is it okay for you to be that happy? Is it okay for you to leave people behind that are struggling and that you could help? But I think you know that true help isn't being the one to fit the puzzle pieces for them. It's acknowledging that if they don't fit the puzzle pieces into themselves, their own lives themselves, then when you leave, those puzzle pieces will shatter anyway, and they would be left to do it themselves anyway. I want to understand this red panda more. But I'm also liking this phoenix bird out, so let's make some room. And let's get a large animal card. Yeah, raccoon. I feel like it's in the raccoon card. Red panda. What are you trying to tell us? What are you trying to tell us? Oh yeah, one thing was that bamboo grows really fast, and it feels like you grow really fast. Full stop. Raccoon, inventor. I just heard, oh, what was it? Something, famous inventor. I think it's like a British TV show for kids. Tracy something? Tracy Muck. Something Muck something maybe? Famous inventor. Anyway, that could be significant. It's bringing me back to like childhood TV shows though, so you might have known this person from childhood. Decide on what you really want. Yeah, what do you really want? I think that's it. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and you can juggle them well. Yeah, it feels like saying no to being that trickster for you is saying no to that maybe energy. It's not juggling. It's like that integrity energy is like, what is in most integrity for you? What feels like you can really expand your wings? Because it's like, it feels like with you having them on hold, you have gone from a fly to a magpie. So if you really let go of them, how much more expansive could you be? You'd be a dragon or phoenix bird. Or you turn into a red panda. Maybe the phoenix bird is a red panda. Oh, imagine is the red panda transformed? Imagine a red panda who transforms into other flight creatures. Phoenix bird is giving me vibes of like a flying red panda. Anyway, that raccoon first message, decide on what you really want. What do you feel called towards? Not out of like a crown chakra calling, like a light kind of calling. This feels like a deep yearning, like a soul drive of going where you thrive, of being in the vibration that you thrive in. I wonder if you are holding on to this more than you realized. Lizard, regeneration. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on a new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. Yeah, this feels like letting go. This tower in reverse, it feels like, whoa, choosing to put it upright. And this could also be like having this relationship like on hold is what has not allowed you to fully make space for truly reciprocal relationships, for new relationships. And we had that Page of Cups pop out too, which can talk to new relationships. So the tower upright is like letting the tower crumble, letting all of that which was in the before the tunnel part for you be gone. Letting yourself transform. And I think for you, a big part of that, or a bit part of that, will be letting what is no longer sustaining itself, what is no longer nourishing you, fall away. Decide on what you really want. Are you ready ahead to leave? Are you ready to embrace who you really are and what you can really expand into? I love that. Are you ready to embrace what you can really expand into? How far can you fly? How big are your wings really? Yeah, that's beautiful. I was about to say I'll leave your reading there. I'm actually gonna... Oh, there's these are all fitting. All of them. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. There's so much. There's so much next for you. I want to show them. I want to bring them out for you. I'm gonna keep going until they don't feel like they're fitting. Okay, I know I said until they don't feel like they're fitting. I just feel like this is the most fitting, or I want to leave it at that. Hummingbird miracles, you are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Oh, do you hear that rain outside? It's pouring down. It's like the Tower card. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. And that regeneration card wants to pop out. Shed that skin of yours. And bear guardian. Yeah, you're not alone through this. You're alone maybe in ways that make you feel alive and that make you feel like yourself. And like you can really expand and really breathe. But you're not alone truly. Okay, pile number 4. No, 3. Your 4 is up next. Bye-bye, pile number 3. Yeah, that was so the two crystals that you had being a step in the old and the step in the new, and choosing to let go of the old and therefore kind of let go of the new, so that you can be in the clean slate with a whole new crystal. Pile 4. Ooh, here, let's start again. Pile 4. There could be something about starting again with you. There was a hair on my table and I felt the desire to say start again. So that could be significant. Also the fact that I don't remember who this is yet. I don't remember what your reading was. So you have the amethyst crystal, put him up there. That feels so significant. I don't know who this is yet. Why is that so sticking out to me, as well as the false start of wanting to start again? Okay, let's go. 4. Oh yeah. They were so eager that they were so oh okay, I remember who they are now. They were so eager that I had to write the 4, like pile 4, like addressing who this is to, and that's why I put it in the top center. If you can hear the rain, that is rain, and that is what you're hearing. And I had something else to say. I don't know. Maybe just that we're doing cards after this, and I'll speak a tiny bit about the notes. But first, this is their letter to you. So, 4. Are you spying on me, Sneeko? I'm so uncomfortable without you. Come back home to me. They have so many exclamation marks in their letter, just so you know. Like most of the punctuation is exclamation marks. I'm so uncomfortable without you. Come back home to me. I wish I could tell you everything I've been experiencing. The sad, the happy, and everything in between. I've been lonely without you. You know that though, don't you? You have that special light that brings warmth to whoever you're around, and I miss it. I hope whoever's on the receiving end of it now gets more privileges than I did / I got. I hope they cherish you / it more than I was able to cherish. More than I was able to / chose to. I don't know how I'll get by without you. I already miss you like crazy, and it's not even been that long. You will come back, won't you? I hope you haven't found anything better. I do sometimes feel torn knowing you deserve more than I can / would give you, but mostly I try not to think about it too hard, and often find myself thinking how to get back how to get you back, or what I'd / we could do together if you came back tomorrow. We'd have a blast together, I'm sure. I'll always remember the way you make me laugh. It's almost sad to think about how confident you always seem in yourself, because you've grown detached from me. I say almost because, again, I tried to focus on the easier things. I don't really have anything else to say. Come back, in brackets, babe. I heard that, but it felt like it was only relevant for some of you. Come back, babe. I'll be waiting, in brackets, probably / mostly, ... close bracket, your favorite, and then underline. And also, in brackets, it's like kind of like your favorite, and then like your relationship to them, but also they said the word pastime. So your favorite pastime. So this was an interesting energy, I'll say that. It felt like you might have a strong psychic link to them, in that you already know who this is, or you don't know who this is, but nah, you know who this is. Even if you don't know who the letter relates to, that someone that you clearly know where they stand, that you know that they want you back, it seems to be. And I think you also know that they're not in the healthiest energy. I will not skirt over or sugarcoat the fact that I don't like their energy. They seemed to be viewing you like a treat that they could get or they wanted to get without any concern for how you felt. And they felt quite disrespectful to me. This part of, where is it? I hope whoever's on the receiving end of it, it being that warmth and that light that you bring to whoever you're around, they say, I hope whoever's on the receiving end of it now gets more privileges than I got. And what I was intending, or what I thought was going to come out when I was saying that, was the part of, like, I hope they cherish you, full stop. Actually, that it was like, that was the energy that I thought was gonna come out, but instead they said, and I only put that after because that's what I thought was gonna come out, so I thought that that was a strong message, which now I'm questioning for the first time and thinking, wait, was that actually just me misinterpreting their energy, their intentions, which maybe is something that you experience with them? Like, you may have interpreted some of their desire or their reflection of you to feel like they hope you are being cherished, but in actuality they are hoping that they're being like spiteful in saying like you didn't give them enough. Like, they hope whoever's with you now gets more privileges than they got. I don't know. I just get a bit of like a how dare you to my beautiful, wonderful, awesome pile fours. I'm gonna get some tarot straight away for you. And now I'm already seeing an image of Black Bear from my other deck. So we'll get some animal decks, okay, or cards for you too. So this will either be an extension of their message to you or extra guidance or messages in general. But the few notes I have for you, stay strong. I kind of feel like that's like a resist this temptation, if it's even a temptation for you. It feels like continue having those boundaries up and viewing this with logic and detachment and staying in your own lane, doing what you're doing. I feel like that might be your reading. Yeah, they came in very eagerly. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, they came in so eager that I like hadn't finished clearing pile 3 yet, I think. And or like, this was after I was writing, not just in the reading part. Yeah, they were already like starting to talk to me before, or something starting to come in before I was ready for them. And that goes in with their energy of they didn't really seem to care about your emotions or your desires or your wellness. And then I put, enough said. It's like, for me, it's like, draw the line at that. And that might be the energy you're into. It's like, they don't seem to care about your emotions, desires, or wellness, and that's all you need to know about it. That's full stop. And I put at the end, like, no, they haven't changed. Because I felt like maybe that was why they're coming through in a reading for you, if you're wondering if they've changed. And if maybe they regret the way they've acted, and it seems like, no, they don't. I think if they do regret the way they acted, it's not because they have compassion for the way you're feeling. It's because they regret that you, like they said in the letter, became confident in yourself and detached from them. It's like they would rather you not be confident in yourself so that they could have more of the stuff in you that they do like. What was I on about? The eagerness. It went with that. The fact that they like kind of crossed my boundary. I hadn't like set boundaries, so it doesn't really count. But it's bringing in that energy. And maybe that's how you were with them in whatever relationship you had with them, like, because you weren't setting boundaries at the time. I want to say, that's rain if you can hear that. I think I already said that for your pile. I'm not sure. Maybe that was the other pile. Yeah. Was that Queen? Okay, Justice coming out. Whew. Okay. I'm getting like riled up in their energy. I feel like they're very passionate for you, but it's not with regard for, yeah, 10 of Wands. They are they definitely want to start new with you, or they see you as having everything. But it's kind of like, yes, they see you as being able to hold the world, so it's kind of like you can hold their entire world for them. Yeah, what I was saying, you may not have had boundaries or strong boundaries up when you were with them, and so they could overstep what should have been boundaries. And it seems like you put in boundaries, like we got Queen of Swords right at the start, and Strength card. So it feels like your current energy is no towards them, but maybe it was a bit of a maybe. Yeah, so basically they don't like that you've got boundaries now, and that I heard they don't like that you like yourself now. Okay. I don't want to use any more tarot. But this 8 of Wands is making me think and Lovers, they may try and come back. They definitely don't hold themselves back from expressing how much they like you. Where's my animal deck here? Yeah, they see you as extremely light and healing and loving and warmth. It's like they give off an energy of really cherishing home. Like they feel like you're home to them. Like such deep comfort. Such deep comfort, yes. I think you help them understand who they are too. Like they feel, it's not really, and they don't feel like they want to know who they are. It's like they do on a surface level, but it's not a true knowing. It's more of like a surface. It just makes them, what is it? It's like you take the ease off them. It's kind of an energy of, say you have a strong ideology of perfection, like inherent perfection. They might take that to ignore feelings and any distortions of dis-ease within themselves, because everything is perfect, which is true and very valid to feel. But within doing that, they are also not allowing themselves to honor both themselves and others by holding on to limitations within themselves. I really overcomplicated that. Basically, it feels like they like that you see them in a loving way, or they like what you provided them. But it's like, I feel like what you were providing them was great depth, and they were taking that depth as great lightness. Greatness. I'm almost getting like a reverse energy of this. I don't usually read these in reverse, but I kind of feel like they're the elephant energy in reverse. They do have a strong presence. And yeah, it's giving me that like Cancerian energy. They feel very clingy and like they really love the home. And like you bring such a sense of satisfaction to their home. Love is your strength, leadership is your path, your wisdom inspires everyone you meet, you can overcome any problem, you will naturally and easily achieve success. I wonder if they... I was gonna say, I wonder if they feel like they can naturally and easily get you, or achieve success with you. But they feel so... Maybe they... okay. They did say something along the lines of, you will come back, won't you? Like, knowing. They almost felt like they know that you would come back to them. I heard it eventually or at some point. Full stop, maybe? But I don't know. It feels like they might be in disappointment at that. What energy are you in then? I'm gonna call you on your highest energy, or like your, because I feel like you're maybe a bit in between, but I want to give you a push to to your most loving self. Dragonfly magic. Fly away. Old soul. Yeah, you are so tapped into higher vibrations of love. You understand how to walk with ease, and this is something that they really admire. They like that psychic connection I said at the start, and you have amethyst. I think they are probably very spiritual too. I say that, I say too because I thought it was clear that you are very spiritual. Yeah, what you see and what you're able to tap into, I heard, is nothing short but miraculous. I am brilliant and I am blessed. See, the magic of nature is in me. Yes, it's like you recognize the magic in all. And not only do you believe it, but you see it, you claim it, you are it, you walk with it, you walk beside it, you walk hand in hand with it. You love it, and you are loved by it. And I think that they share a lot of these ideologies with you. But I think that they, again, that it's coming maybe from a sense of what brings them sweet relief, as opposed to what takes them on like a soul calling of theirs. It feels like, okay, yeah, I want a bit of tarot for this. I feel like for them, they might be more called into, like, I got Pentacles energy of, ooh, that was a lot of movement. That was a lot of movement. That could be significant, like they're being called to move, but it feels like practically, like they would be being called to come out of hiding, or something to do with the physical, and it feels like they escape into the non-physical, whereas I feel like you understand that the non-physical isn't an escape, it's an existence, it's a purity of being, it's everything. Okay, I wanted to get an energy of like, what was that thing I was seeing? Tell me. Thank you. Queen of Cups and Knight of Wands. That was the energy I was seeing. Oh, is this like this? I feel like they have a strong passion for you because of how nurturing you are. I want to say how all-encompassing you are. I heard you can hold the weight of the world. You really can hold so much. It's just a question of, do you really want to be holding this energy? It feels like there's a lot of love here, but it kind of feels like theirs is more of a passion than a love, or I don't know, I would want to question what is love surrounding their energy. I'm kind of seeing these like stepping stones. I kind of feel like they would use you as a stepping stone, as opposed to like, I'm in awe of your presence, like I love who you are. Yeah, it's like they love what you give, not who you are. They don't feel like they see you as a soul, they see you as a mother or a nurturer. Like an emotional presence that gives. Let's get confirmation on the Knight of Wands. They feel like they come in fast and passionately, and it's all true, but yeah, they want to cling to you too, but it's giving me like possessive, like it's like that hoarding energy. It's like they want you to themselves, but they don't want to really care for what they have. It's like, it's such a feeling of that like home energy I keep getting from them. Oh, you even piled them before. And I think you love that home energy. I think you, Queen of Cups feels very, I heard like blessed to be at home. But I also heard that like from them, like they feel blessed to be like, to share a home with you. Whether that be like the home of the heart, or like just to literally have you in their own home, or to be in your own home. I have to keep breathing out for this energy, I want to note. There feels like a lot of tension. Maybe you, yeah, reciprocal energy. Like, are they giving to you in the way that you are giving to them? It feels like they replenish, maybe play. Oh, I was also seeing that there was a lot of water trickling, water and juice spraying in that image. So it feels like, yes, very passionate of a relationship, very fun. They mentioned that something about your laughter, like I'll always remember the way you make me laugh. Yes. It just feels like they have a lot of untapped into power. And that they don't fully understand what drives them. And because they don't fully understand what drives them, they act out of impulse. I will say that they're afraid of losing this connection with you. And I don't like saying this because there is so much, I feel like you two share a camaraderie, or you share a love for one another. Certainly a passion for one another. But it feels like maybe what they are really afraid of, the reason why they're really afraid of losing you, I heard forever, because it feels like you're not in coordination, is what I just heard. You're not in coordination. I forgot what I was saying. I'm just noticing this gnat move along the Eight of Cups, so I guess I'll talk about the Eight of Cups. Ah, that's what it is. Like, they're afraid of letting go of you. Oh, see this? They have passion for you, and you hold a strong love and space holding for them. And then they are holding on to you, and you are walking away from them. That's what the Four of Pentacles and Eight of Cups is. So yeah, they're afraid of losing you. They're afraid that you'll continue with this Eight of Cups energy of leaving, of going to your depths. Not necessarily because of losing you, but again, it's like what you provide them with, that healing love, that, I guess, again, like motherly figure. I don't really want to say figure, I want to say energy, motherly energy. Because they don't know how to find that within themselves. They don't feel at resonance with that, let's say. So it's like when you feel in resonance with something within yourself and you lose what that is in the external, how that's being mirrored to you in the external, there's no fear around it leaving because you're in resonance with it. So something else of the same caliber, the same giving energy, the same accordance, the same equality will just replace itself. So there's no fear because there's a fluid motion of internal to external, and when you have it on the inside, you have it on the outside. But because they don't have it on the inside, they really fear losing how they can see it expressed in the outside, because they don't know, they don't feel like it will be replenished. They feel like you are that source of healing. And the reason why, okay, I won't say the reason why, I'll just say it will never satisfy them though, because until they find that resonance within themselves, because otherwise it's like you will continue to pour into them, but it's like pouring in and out of them. So they still completely feel it flood through them, but it's not something that fills them. Okay. That actually might be your reading ended. Yeah, and my hesitance, I feel like, is your energy of you're still maybe a little hesitant to leave, or you know you've left, but you are afraid of going back, that kind of thing. King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Justice. Newer pastures. And I feel like focusing on the practicality of, I heard of where you know you're going. So yeah, and your heart and your direction feels like it's to elsewhere. I feel like there's not much guidance that needs to come through of, let's say, what to do when they come back, or surrounding the energy. Like, they have a very clinging energy to them. So it doesn't really feel like looking back and focusing any guidance on like what to do about them is necessary, because what do you do about them? Nothing. Simple. Yeah, okay, that's where I'll end your reading, pile number 4. Feel free to go back to the start if you want to hear their actual letter, which was the main portion, but I would not suggest doing that, because that feels like giving them more of that energy that you could go and give to yourself in a more nourishing way, I would say. I would personally say what you really want, yeah. And that dragon energy of being in your power. What do you really want? Yes. Anything else to say? I felt like I was on the brink of saying something. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, instead of rewatching the start of this pick a card reading, going and finding another pick a card reading, or another video, or another, whatever you feel inspired, which is more of nourishment to you. Yes? I can feel your unsureness of ending, but I'm gonna say goodbye, pile number 4. I shall rip your paper. Pile number 5, welcome in. Welcome in. Don't tell the others, but yours is my favorite one. Okay, that's significant of a message. I feel like that is their message to you. Like, don't tell the others, but you're my favorite. Okay, and for the others, I wrote notes on the back, but for yours, it felt like I could have written a lot, but I didn't want to. I wanted to keep it simple. And it also felt like so much abstract energy within this pile that I didn't want to condense it. Okay. And yet you also got the longest letter, because the handwriting was so much prettier and neater. Let me show you in comparison. No, that's not comparison. But you can trust me on it. There's something about trust here too. You can trust me on it. That might be their message for you. Okay. Dear Pi 5. I heard that like Par 5. Par? Golf? That could be significant. Dear Pile 5. I miss you, but I don't want to reassume the relationship we once had. I thought I'd make that clear at the start so as to not confuse you when I speak of you in a loving light throughout this letter to you. So yes, I do miss you. You never really understood me, but that's okay. I still love you. Always have, always will. You're so precious to me, and I know you find that difficult or confusing to hear, and in the past, I'm sure I would have tried to explain it / myself more, but I've grown a whole lot within myself that I now trust that you'll come to understand the truth in my words and intentions in your own time. I feel safe to simply say I love you and leave it at that. You are always drunk on my emotions, as though I was little more than your accessible high. I've come to a lot of gratitude in this, both the realization and the experience itself. You really gave me a head start in life, in all the wrong ways, in brackets, that I want to truly thank you for. Without you, I would never have found such magic within the realm of distortion, as well as, or more accurately, the journey of clearing said distortion. I have really come to love this crazy life of mine, and I never want to trade it. My special life, my special self, that blossomed from my special relationship with you. I know I speak a lot of my pain and that which I've grown from, but as a soul too, I find much love and beauty in our in-between moments too. The times I see as simply your heart and mine exchanging our time and energy together, creating delicate memories that remain always. I didn't want to end this, but I'm glad I did. And yours is also the only one that put 2 kisses at the end. So there's a very sweet energy to them. It felt like to me, some of you could be reading or hearing this from your own perspective, like this is you to the one that you had on your mind to hear from, and that actually bringing clarity to your own disposition, your own placement is what wanted to come through, is what would bring you most love and clarity. But I can also see that this is being received for a lot of you. And maybe that's hard to hear, or maybe it's reassuring to know that they hold you in a very loving light. They feel like they're very blunt, but also very unconditionally loving for you. It feels like they might not have always been able to hold such a light. It feels like they might have focused on the pain more in the past, or made that a point to talk about more, or to feel into more. But it feels like they didn't come through in wanting to overly focus on that. Even though it's like they did seem to focus a lot on that, what they really wanted was the energy of all of this happened, but I'm in a state of love. And they wanted you to know that, like, at the end, they found it hard to end it, but they're happy. They want you to know that they're at peace too. And they hope that that brings you clarity. Okay, I was not trying to say clarity, I was trying to say peace too, but I guess clarity is what wants to come through more for you. Authority. Yeah, they do feel like they hold this. It feels like they want to like give you the throat chakra. Yeah, they want to express the difficult truth to you, which is that they feel like your relationship wasn't healthy, and that it seems like they feel like you played a big part in their healing journeys. Like they said, this might be hard to hear, but like in all the wrong ways. In that they feel like you weren't holding a level of understanding for them in a compassionate light. but they feel that that is important for you to hear, because with throat chakra and authority, it's like that's the truth, and they want you to know the truth. They want you to know that the truth is okay, that the truth is that you hurt them, but that's a good thing, and that they're grateful for that. Good being subjective, but they're them taking the subjective perspective of it being good, or at least that they view it in a blessed light. Yeah, so the primary message for you is everything that you feel is difficult to hear may actually be exactly what would bring you most love to hear. Because all these things that you may find that you want to avoid are only being avoided because you view them as taking away from you if they are the truth. But this letter wants to bring light to viewing everything that is truth as pure love, as okay. So whatever dynamic this relationship took, they are okay with that. They really see what did happen, and they are grateful for that. I just heard they're proud of that. You played a major part in their journey, it feels like, and they want you to really understand that they are grateful. Not surface level grateful, but truly grateful for you and for the part in their journey that you played. I just heard the song, or it's lyrics from the song, at least. The lyrics are, I don't know how you seemed so perfect. This could be both of you, actually. Maybe you both idealized each other. It feels like my attention wants to be brought to them viewing you as perfect, because in this song it's kind of like I don't know how I viewed you as so perfect, because it seems like now they've come to understand a lot of your flaws, or quote unquote flaws, or at least they are viewing you as not perfect, and they want you to know that they don't view you as perfect, because they also see that not being perfect is perfect. They see that it's okay. It's okay to it's okay to have rubbed off on them in the wrong ways. It's okay that we have had the dynamic we have had because of where it's taken me, because of everything I have learned and grown through and been able to hold because of you, because of this. There's so much to this card, but it does give me a sense of distortion, of like unease, but it's through that unease that it's able to expand in the way that it does. There's a lot of like reflection energy, but it's not mirrored. It's like it should be mirrored. Perhaps this dynamic took a state of being that wasn't healing for both parties. It wasn't able to hold both parties in nourishment, but because of that, it kind of like allowed for overcompensation on their part, it seems, and they're grateful for that because it allowed them to expand that much more because of that. It's like because they didn't have enough space from the start, it allowed them to like duplicate how much space they would have ordinarily had. I feel like they found a love in transformation through you. I want to get a character card. I feel like they found parts of themselves that wouldn't have like needed to be found had this relationship not been as difficult as it was. It's like it's like you perhaps brought them a lack of freedom, and in having that lack of freedom, they desired so much more freedom than they would have desired otherwise. For example, I'm seeing someone who, like, for example, was never allowed to leave the house, and thus, when they finally broke out of that limitation, they wanted to go across the galaxy, or they wanted to go across the globe to another country, as opposed to if they, and they loved what they found across the galaxy or in another country. And they're so grateful that they got to experience that other country because they love that other country. And they feel that if you hadn't have repressed that, or in this example, if they had not have had that restriction to have had to stay home, they feel like they probably would have just explored the same country that they were in, or just the cities around them, kind of thing. And so this Tanaka card here is in the Namaste pose, which is making me feel like it's just that immense gratitude for this kind of came out in reverse, for the either strict childhood or strict dynamic you two had. It is giving that a lot, like restriction, because of whatever form of restriction this took. They have found more peace than they feel like they would have found otherwise, or they have found gratitude for finding peace from the storm. It's like, even if they would have been at peace if you had been less controlling, I heard, they wouldn't have had this like gratitude for the peace that they've come to, and they wouldn't have found such a gift in healing as they have, because there would have been nothing to heal. Okay. Any more cards? Let's get some dragon cards, or maybe animal. I'm hearing that song again. I don't know how you seem so perfect. That could have been you on them too, like you viewed them as perfect, and maybe that I was gonna say maybe that was a perfection that was based off like particular attributes, though, not actually an unconditional sort of perfection where any expression would have been accepted. But I'm feeling more like this is them expressing to you they don't know how you seemed so perfect, so they still view, they still want to bring more attention to how they feel like they were mistreated with you. And what more? I don't know how you seem so perfect. Are those lyrics just really specific for you? I'm not getting more from it, even though it seems to fit. Fire and water dragon enables your life to flow with loving force. Yeah, it's like they could have had a flowing life, but because of you, they had a flow with loving force. It's like they're not just like a stream, they get to be a river, because there was such a huge dam in the way that they had to carve out such a large pathway. Prepare for change and move forwards quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. And Rose Pink Dragon. Prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Yeah, it feels like this energy of fire and water is in being able to be uninhibited, being able to express themselves so fully is something that they've come into, and that they found a love of life through this expansion journey they've found from you. It really feels like you're a major catalyst to what they're becoming, or what they have become, or their love of life. Something I'm either not getting or that's just it. Let me see if there are any tarot cards. Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles, and Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups, again, that gives that energy of perfection. It feels like because they either had too many boundaries placed on them as they were within your dynamic, or they didn't have enough boundaries placed on them, or placed with them. But they're kind of one and the same, too many and not enough. It's enabled them to really get to the root of what boundaries really are. That's not hitting home for me. I guess they don't want to say of what's enabled them so much, or speak on the whys. They just want to say the whats. They want to say that maybe it felt like they couldn't have fun, or they couldn't be free. There's like a freedom that they felt like they didn't get. Yeah, they felt like they were restricted and that they didn't get freedom, and that they lost their sense of free will or control over themselves, or who they felt like they could be, and that they're at peace with that. It's that perfection energy again. It's like, it wasn't perfect, but I'm at peace with that. It wasn't perfect, but I found a greater love in that. You seemed perfect, but now I don't view you as perfect, but I love that imperfection. It feels like no matter what, they really do love you. And they hold a lot of peace within your connection, which it seems is non-existent. Not non-existence, but non-physical, let's say. It feels like that's your reading now, pile number 5. Is there anything else I have to add? I kind of want to say, I heard one of you, or I heard an energy of, did I not do enough from you? And it feels like their answer to that would be yes and no, but more leaning towards, like, you know, you didn't provide them with what they wanted in order to feel like they could fully be themselves and feel nourished. But that was enough because they wanted to have not enough. They chose that experience. That experience is something that they said they wouldn't trade it. So thank you for being the one who didn't provide me with what I wanted. And it's not like a silly, like, finding gratitude. It's a genuine, I wanted this experience. Okay. It's like they get to live the life they love and want. They get to be their truest self because of who you chose to be. Because of the dynamic that you two had and chose to have in this lifetime. They got to be their fullest expression of what they, again, really wanted to be. It's like, it feels like they would have lacked an authority when they were with you, or that triggered more of that energy of lacking their own authority, and that is what they then got to experience, such a higher form of authority. I want to leave it on again. I wouldn't trade it, and I never want to trade it. Okay, pile number 5. That is your reading. That has been your reading, is what I was going to say. And I leave you on a message of, I love you. And so it is.